The VWAP is one of the most accurate and profitable indicators in day trading, and if you know me, I've been trading and putting out content on the VWAP for years now. In today's video specifically though, we're looking at short-term trend trading using the VWAP, and we're breaking down the most accurate strategies I've found over the past few years using the VWAP indicator, so make sure you stick around. What's up team, it's your favorite day trading YouTuber, John with BT, and we're back today for another video. Like I said in the intro, in today's video we're looking at short-term trend trading using the VWAP, and so we're breaking down the correct way to use the VWAP for short-term trend trading, and then we're also breaking down my most effective and profitable strategies using it. It's a really powerful indicator, but you got to trade it in the correct way. But if you want to skip to just the strategies, skip about halfway through and you'll find those there. Remember guys, if you want to help support our completely free day trading content, hit the like, hit the subscribe button below, and if you click the bell next to that, you'll get an alert anytime we go live or drop a new video. Now with all of that said, let's take a look at these. Okay, so today's lesson is on short-term trend trading using VWAP, and this is going to be kind of a full breakdown, and then I'm going to add one or two examples of kind of plans that you can build using these strategies, and kind of plans and systems that you can include. To get started here, let's just break down exactly what the VWAP does. And now this is a little bit debated here in the trading world, but if you look under Thinkorswim and you try to find the VWAP, it's going to be under trend studies. And the reason for that is because the VWAP really is a trend indicator. It's an intraday trend indicator. And so what it's ultimately going to show you is the short-term trend of that stock. Like this says, if a stock's maintaining above it, for instance, it's maintaining an upward trend. Below it means it's maintaining a downward trend for the most part. And if it's chopping through the VWAP or it's not maintaining a steady direction or respecting it, it just means it's a choppy neutral trend. It doesn't necessarily mean there's lower volume, because sometimes stocks can, kind of go back and forth with decent volume. But if a stock is not respecting the VWAP and it's just kind of, chopping back and forth up and down over it, it's just maintaining a neutral trend. The VWAP is a volume weighted indicator. So volume is key for trends. And so finding high volume liquid stocks is key. It's going to be one of the most important things if you're looking to trade the VWAP in a reliable way, is really you're looking for trends in a stock. You're looking for stocks that specifically maintain trends in an easy to understand and consistent way. Here's a stock maintaining above the VWAP, and again you can see every time the stock moves, it pulls back to the VWAP, it confirms that upward trend, moves back, vice versa. And so it's respecting the VWAP here. It's maintaining an upward trend. It's not respecting the VWAP. That's a little bit misleading. But what it is doing is maintaining an upward trend, and the VWAP is confirming that. Here's a downward trend. And again, just like the last one, you can see every time the stock moves up to the VWAP, it respects that downward trend. Up to the VWAP, respects the downward trend. Up to the VWAP, respects that downward trend. And so if you understand trading, you can understand that this can be profitable. If you can find stocks that maintain trends specifically, you could profit from the VWAP using the VWAP. And that's really what the VWAP does. It's not really a longer term indicator. You're not going to find much value in the VWAP if you're trading it based off of a daily chart, or if you're trading it based off of a longer term chart. There's not going to be much value in the VWAP, because really it's just telling you that shorter term trend here. Here's an example of a stock that is just choppy. It's just neutral. It's not really respecting a specific direction. Well, it is respecting a direction, which is a sideways direction. But again, this is what you'll see when a stock is kind of low volume a lot of the time. It's just kind of choppy up and down, chopping over and under the VWAP, not respecting it. So yeah, you want to keep this in mind, is that when attempting to trade a specific trend or profit from trend trading using the VWAP, understanding how to give yourself the best odds for success is key. With the VWAP, the indicator is based around volume. And in the stock market, stocks with good volume, news, hype, etc. generally maintain trends in a more consistent and ultimately profitable way. And so with that in mind, finding good sectors and finding good stocks and attacking those can be a well-suited strategy that will help you make the most money, in my opinion. A good example of this, guys, and a good kind of lesson on this is that Tiny might remember this, but if you've been following the channel, I used to trade cannabis stocks a ton. I used to trade, CGC, CRON. When they were really popping off in the market, I would profit a ton from cannabis stocks, and I would trade VWAP phase, VWAP bounces, VWAP trend strategies for these stocks. And eventually, that market slowed down. Eventually, those stocks became less liquid, they became less volatile, they became slow, a little bit more boring, neutral, choppy, sideways. And once that happened, you saw me stop trading them. And the reason I stopped trading them is because they were choppy, they were neutral, they were sideways. They didn't have the volume necessary to trend trade using the VWAP. Because again, in the stock market, a lot of the times, the stocks that are going to be respecting trends the most are going to be stocks that have catalysts or that have been popping off in the market, hot stocks, hot sectors, kind of like we went over yesterday, is that sometimes the best stocks in the market are the ones that have the most hype and volume. And once the hype died down with cannabis stocks, they became less favorable to trade these VWAP strategies on. Just to give some examples of these strategies, we can look at the VWAP fade, for instance. VWAP fade, all you're ultimately doing with this type of strategy is you're looking for a downward move at the open. You're looking for a downward move, pull back to the VWAP, you're entering here, and then riding it down. And so that's a VWAP fade, for instance. We can look at a VWAP bounce, which is just the same thing in reverse. And so, one thing that I love to do is we look for the same thing I kind of just talked about. This one actually switched trends and then pulled back to the VWAP, and then you enter here, and then boom, it bounces off the VWAP. Very common thing in trading as well. Finding reliable stocks is really important here. And first, stocks that have high volume and liquidity are going to usually be the best to attack. Low volume, obscure stocks will maintain choppy trends and not respect the VWAP. Liquid stocks usually respect trends in a more consistent way, and you want to pay attention to hot sectors. Now that we have a thorough breakdown on how you're supposed to use the VWAP for short-term trend trading, let's take a look at the most effective and reliable strategies using this trend trading indicator. Okay, so the first strategy on my list is the red to green VWAP bounce. I've been using a lot of combination strategies using this red to green move, but when you combine it with the VWAP bounce, it's a really accurate strategy that you can learn and add to your trading playbook. And so the first thing you obviously want to look for here is you want those first 1 to 2 minute candles to be red going down. You need an obviously down move at the opening bell so you can look for the reversal, a break of the VWAP, and a break of the previous high of the day. Once you get that break and you get a little bit extended above the VWAP, you can then look for a pullback dip buy to the VWAP level that we call a VWAP bounce. If you approach it like this, it can just be a really powerful strategy for you to use. And once you really learn how to approach the VWAP bounce and these combination strategies, they can make you a ton of money in the market. And so I hope you'll check this one out. The next one on my list is the green to red retest short. Now this one takes advantage of a quick and sudden trend change from a stock that was really bullish in the first 5 to 10 minutes to reversing, breaking previous lows, and then testing that level. You jump in short after the previous low of the day break after a big reversal, and then short into the test of that previous low of the day. Once that happens, a ton of the time here, you're going to get a quick rejection off of that level, and you can scalp or hold it a little bit longer term for momentum. It works really well, and it's one of my favorite strategies to attack in the market. Another strategy that I wanted to include is what I call the fake out fade VWAP fade. Now with this one, you're looking for a stock maintaining a downward trend. You're looking for it to rip above the VWAP a little bit, trying to change trends on the upside before quickly getting reversed, pushed back down, and then retesting the VWAP. On that retest of the VWAP, that's what you ultimately want to short into, and in this case, you can use that previous rip up above the VWAP high as your risk level. That gives you a pretty nice tight risk level to take advantage of, and this is going to be a pretty high percentage play as well in my opinion, so it's got good risk reward and a pretty tight risk level for you to take advantage of. The last one on my list today is a range break VWAP bounce or VWAP fade. And so when you're looking for these, you want to find a really tight, obvious range at the opening bell. It's really important that you have a choppy stock that's crossing above and below the VWAP, that's not really respecting it, and then you finally wait for that range to actually break, either on the upside or downside. Once that happens, you're going to have a really high percentage play by waiting for either a dip to the VWAP, or if you're short, look for a bounce to the VWAP to short into. Doing so, it's just a really high percentage play to take advantage of, and it can be really profitable if you can wait for that range to break and then attack a VWAP bounce or a VWAP fade. Anyways team, that's it for this one. Remember, if you want to join us for these classes live or just hang out with us after these videos or streams, check out our Discord, and I'll include that link in the description. It's completely free. You can also go check out Trader Mike's Discord, which has a really powerful and profitable penny stock Discord that's super active and has a lot of dope traders there talking about stocks and hanging out every single weekday morning. That's free as well, and I'll include both of those links in the description so you can check it out. If you want the best scanners in the market, check out Trade Ideas, and I'll include a few resource links in the description. Remember to protect your day trading account like it's your bank account. Good luck in the markets, guys, and we'll see you all next time. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you all then.